Hello, hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Sparkle walkthrough. Well, not good afternoon, but just hello in general. My name is Transcendent, and today we are going to be continuing with the path to the south for this Sparkle Amulet of Risk journey on Master difficulty. So I'm not going to waste too much time. I'll talk a little bit later and just give you guys some updates, and yeah, we'll go from there. So let us begin, shall we? I don't know if this is apparent, but if you guys are watching, you see that the levels are taking longer to complete. Well, that's what happens when you play on master difficulty. Anyways, so I want to just update you guys on how I've been doing. So let's begin by saying this. I graduated. Yay. Well, I still have like one more class to do, but once I'm done with that, I graduated for the second time, I'll say. So that's my update on college, but there's still some things I have to do. I need to still continue to situate myself a bit more. And over the last 5 years in college, my perspective on people and how I deal with them, I guess, has changed dramatically. Because there's a lot going on that can really be frustrating to, if it's, you know, whether it has to deal with personal, it could be political, whatever the case. It could be with leadership. There's a lot of people that we've dealt with, my family and I. So I'm hoping that these last 5 years of college can allow me to understand what it is that I'm truly trying to become. And not just that, but these last 5 years will also allow me to handle whatever life throws at me more accordingly, right? So again, I graduated college, about to be at least, and then from there I have to continue on with my journey. In the real world, that is. You know, I want to actually get a job, but in order to do that, I will also have to learn how to do technical, yeah, I said it already. Well, there's your hint. I need more technical skills because I have the basics down, at least. I have the idea, but I just need to put in the work. So it's all up to me, as I said. And I think within due time, that will happen. I know I'm not giving a lot of details right now, but I'm trying to be careful about my words as usual, because I don't want to say something that's too personal and then people find out what, you know, what I'm doing or what I'm trying to do. So it's like trying to keep things separate for a good reason. Anyways, let me continue to the next level. If that is how my luck's gonna be, I'm worried for Waterfront Barricade. Could you imagine if I hit that 360? That would be so sick. Anyways. So, that's what's been going on with me. I wanted to talk about something. Let me just make sure. Oh yeah, okay, so I wanted to just let you guys know about the two themes that I used. The theme that I used for Wound Downwards was called, I think it was the Fortified Towers. I was initially going to not use that theme because I felt that it didn't fit the overall vibe I was trying to capture at the time. But I'm glad that I did not just scrap the theme and I kept it before deleting it from my hard drive. 'Cause then I could just actually play around with it and see one more time. 1 second. Alright, apologies about that. One of my parents just interrupted me. They were unaware. It's okay. Anyways, so the Fortified Towers was another Gauntlet theme that is used in the final area where you have to face off against Garm. And that was a theme I was going to scratch because I didn't know what to do with it at the time. I didn't know how to make it seem appealing and make it, hit. But I realized that if I could, I realized with the new editing skills that I had, I could actually make the song go along with the background, or make the edits go along with the song. Maybe that's better wording. So I'm glad I stuck with it. And I think the smoke or the fog, you can interpret it however. I'm going to say smoke, as well as the red background, really emphasizes the seriousness of this journey. Because remember how we all started? I started off as just a guy who was doing the tutorials, but then as I continued playing along with my journey, I continued to show. I said the word 3 times now. Continue. Take a shot every time I say continued. I went along in expert mode and I completed the Amulet risk there, which was pretty easy compared to what I'm dealing with now. And here I can't just speak like I want to. I have to actually focus because Sparkle Amulet Risk Master Mode is brutal. You have to be really focused, number 1. Number 2, you have to think about what you're going to do. Number 3, you have to have good reaction time. Anyways, so the Fortified Towers really captures the seriousness of this journey, as I said. We've made it to the first part. This was the first chapter. This is now the second chapter, right? Second chapter. Anyways. Damn. Hold on. Alright. I'll talk about the Conatus theme in a second. I don't know if y'all heard me, but I'll talk about the Conatus theme in a second. I just want to make sure. I'll remove the part if I said it twice. The second thing, I want to talk about the Conatus theme as well for Wizard 101. I know I didn't mention it in the Root Mire. I'll mention it when I get to Liquid Rails. Yeah, this is a little spoiler. That's my bad. It's fine. But yeah, I'm planning to use this theme ahead in Liquid Rails when I get to it. But I'm really impressed with the outcome of that video. And if you ask me, that may possibly be the most creative pieces of literature. It's not literature, I'm just making jokes. It's the most creative piece of art that I've ever created on YouTube. Compared to what you saw at the mill, as well as Not of Fire and Lava, me personally, it might be over here. Not of Fire and Lava. What you witnessed, in my opinion, was greatness. It's just my opinion, but I think that this was my best work. Because never have I thought about trying to make the whole background seem so dangerous. You know, the whole idea behind that theme is that there's always that sense of danger, that you have to keep your head up, and you have to be prepared for what is thrown at you. And I think the theme encapsulates that well. And on top of that, I like the Conatus theme because when you think of the word Conatus, although I don't know the exact word behind it. Let me look up the definition of Conatus. Conatus means a natural tendency, impulse, or striving. So it's like I'd never heard that word before, but it sounds otherworldly. It sounds like something philosophical. Yes, it sounds very philosophical. And whoops, my bad, my phone. And when I think of the world in Wizard 101, when I think of Novus and the term Conatus, you know, I think philosophy. I was going to say philosophy, but bruh. I was going to say that. When I think of these two things, you know, and I say it's otherworldly, you know what comes to mind after that? Space. The concept of space and time. Knowing that things are not always permanent. It's temporary. And we have to do what we can to survive. And one thing I like about it is as the music continues, so does the atmosphere of the level when I produced it. And I like how instead of just using the sun one time, I said to myself, ooh. Actually, let me go away from the beginning. I was looking for something that would capture the essence of the theme. Because when you listen to the theme, it sounds very dark, very gritty. Especially with whatever that sound is that goes doom, doom. You have to listen to the music yourself to understand where I'm coming from. It's got that theme. What is it from that movie? Oh my goodness, I'm trying to remember. Spider-Man. It's from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That's what it reminds me of. You have to watch that movie, guys. It's a phenomenal movie. It's rest in peace to Stan Lee. But you have to watch that movie because when you listen to that theme, you'll understand where I'm coming from. Because the Prowler is a menacing villain. The way they portray him is a menacing villain. And therefore, the way I want to portray this journey is it's not going to be an easy one. You will face you'll face not villains, but the levels will be ruthless. You have to be strong. Because it may look menacing, but deep down, it's possible to bring light back into the world. Yeah, I could say more, but it's just, I really enjoyed, oh right, I was going to say more. See, I have a lot to talk about on my mind. Shoot, if I die in Waterfront Barricade, this might be a gosh darn hour. Anyways, when I got that sun background, I didn't realize the potential until I started using it. I said to myself when I got it, ooh, and that's a nice emitting sun. I wonder if I could use that. And initially, I wasn't going to use it for the hole, but I was actually trying to look for something. I was trying to look for something that would sort of set the level apart from others, but I couldn't think of anything at the time. You know, I could have changed the background to red, but what good would that do? I already did it once once or twice in my Let's Talk video and in the previous video. So why not try something new? So instead, I used the transform, I think, and I put it on the hole. And I said to myself, okay, it looks like it could work, but I'm gonna need to fade it in somehow. So I had to zoom in so many times to the timeline. And when I finally was able to do a perfect fade, it looked magnificent. And again, it's because the editing, this computer is already going through a lot, because the amount of editing I put into the videos is insane. Like, I have the files, so you'll be able to, if I ever want to share them with someone who uses Kdenlive, they can see the amount of work that was put into it. But it was a lot. There were overlays, and I had to it was just a lot. And I liked how I changed the color of the sun. It kind of saved me time. Not a lot, but it was, because it was still a lot of time in that level as well. But it saved me time. And I'm happy for the result. And also, I hope you liked the little lights flickering in the background. That was a nice touch too. That was such a really nice touch. It fit the level perfectly. And I hope it fits perfectly with Liquid Rails as well. Anyways, I spoke a lot. Let's continue.
I'm gonna go silent on this one. I hope I can beat this. I think it's definitely possible, but I just don't want to go back again. We'll see. So I'm gonna be quiet now. Pray for my sanity, people. This is not going to be easy at all. Oh my gosh. Alright, so let me tell you my plan right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a separate recording. So instead of one alternative file, actually no, instead of one alternative recording, it's going to be two alternative recordings. So the alternative recording will be the raw version, and yeah, the raw version without sound, and the second recording will be the typical dub ball breaker recording. And for this video, you're going to see me complete Waterfront Barricade in its entirety. You're going to see, no, not in its entirety, I'm sorry. You're going to see me complete Waterfront Barricade in another attempt. So this attempt is going to be displayed, but the other attempt, the successful run, will not be displayed until I get to Waterfront Barricade and I successfully complete it. And there's definitely a way, there's two ways you can beat this level actually. You can survive it, but you have to, number one, you have to have, and I'll give you a hint, it requires accuracy with the frost ray. You might see. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking. You guys know my plan. Enjoy this video. Enjoy the end. Yeah. Boy. I gotta think better about my words sometimes.
Thank you! Woo! I did it. Oh, my parents are here. Yeah. Yes, I'm playing Sparkle, Dad and Mom. I finally did. I can continue my journey. We'll talk, guys. There's people in the background. I can't do it right now. Bye, guys.